Clay, Clay.
Meso,
I tell you, game
shake my
one.
head.
Okay,
Shake my head.
game one is in the books. I'll say that. Game one
It
is
is
in
in
the
the
books.
books, thankfully. Let's put it to bed.
And look, we know what happened, but I'm staying optimistic. I'm staying optimistic. I know you always say be realistic, but I'm staying
I'm being,
optimistic.
I'm leaning like 60-40 realistic, maybe 70-30.
That's
I
okay.
mean, that was a beat down. And again, if we had lost, I was just telling my wife, if we had lost this game, 38-35 on a last second Jaden Daniels, 40-yard touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin, I'd be like, all right, you know what? They're a good team too. So, I'm not shocked that they beat us at the end. They nipped us at the bud. That's not what happened.
That's not what happened at all. It's going to get better. I'm telling you, it's going to get better.
I want to believe that, and I'm going to continue to work from that assumption for one more week. I'm giving them one more week
One more week? Okay. Okay.
of optimism. And like I said, it's like 30% optimism. It was 80 to 85% 6 hours, 8 hours ago. Not now. Anyway, Clay from Brooklyn, football with the fellas. Who am I here with?
It's your man Mazo. It's all about Big Blue. It's still all about Big Blue.
It's
Even
still
after
all about Big Blue. Yes, sir.
we
Yes,
got
sir.
it handed to us today. We got manhandled today.
Manhandled. We still want you to grab the like button. If you're suffering like we're suffering, let's do it together. Grab that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe.
Put a
You're
comment
gonna
down there. Let us know how you feel about today's game. I know
you're
you.
gonna
I know
need
there's a
people here.
lot you're thinking of right now. I know there's a lot. That's okay. It's okay.
A
It,
lot
it,
of lot of I've purposely stayed off of social media after the game. I didn't want to hear what other people had to say yet until I said what I wanted to say and hear what
right.
you had to say. And then after that, we'll go listen to what everybody else had to say.
I can tell you right now, I haven't really listened to them, but I can. As I was watching that game, what I heard was people. I heard and saw people looking at their watches, and saying, "Okay, the clock is ticking. When is when is Jackson Dart coming in?" That's what I seen. That's what I seen. 'Cause I just have to say this: Russ, he's a nice guy and everything. We know that he's a nice guy, but it maybe it's just me. Russ, I know he's not the tallest guy in the world, but it
No.
looked like he couldn't get one throw over anybody. It was just kind of like they were like park throws, like everything was a jump ball. Everything was a jump ball. And wait, play. You know what I said too? Don't throw that out early in the game. He did. It could have got picked off.
Could
It
have got
should
picked
have
off.
gotten picked off.
Listen, there was so many things that I didn't like about this. There's so many things that went wrong, that underperformed, that disappointed, so many things. In fact, really, if anybody gets a game ball, it's Graham Gano for hitting that long field goal. I mean,
Really.
and Abdul Carter, he partially blocked the punt, and he was a presence. He didn't dominate, but he was a presence. I give
Yeah,
him that.
yeah.
And Brian Burns was a presence. There was a handful of people who had a decent contribution from time to time.
Burns didn't do bad. I like Burns. He played out there. He did well.
Listen, yeah. But when you lose 21-6, there's obviously nobody dominated. And in fairness, it was 14-6 for a long time. Like
Right,
we were
right.
a one score game for a long time. And even the announcers were saying, how is this game still this close? The Giants look terrible.
Right.
But it's a turnover or a tip pass, and this game could be tied. But no,
The lack of tackling. We actually game shouldn't have been that close because the Commanders receivers dropped a couple of passes that we could have been down
yeah.
21-0 at the end of the first quarter. I mean,
Listen, but by the same token, we dodged a bullet and were given a fresh set of downs on their one.
yeah.
We got first and goal on the one. And not only didn't we come away with a touchdown, but we came away with a pass to Marcus Bowe.
Right.
Yes, Marcus Bowe.
I can understand that.
And then a pass out of the back of the end zone to Chris Manhertz.
Yeah, I see this.
I'm like, really? Really? That's what Mike Kafka schemed up?
Right. Let me ask you something. Did Slayton play?
Yes, he did.
I mean, I just don't
Hyatt did
remember.
not. No snap Hyatt. Did
No,
not.
oh, well, did he get? I mean, I was looking. Did Slayton get anything thrown to him? I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember
he did. He
because
did. He did.
one or
But
two.
yeah, I think he had one or two targets. I remember seeing the ball in the general vicinity of Darius Slayton once or twice.
No, was it one of? I'm getting back on Russ. I got to get on him. Was it one of those? He throws everything straight up in the air. It was a jump ball, and he was having. I figured Slayton would get the jump balls if it's anything. Or
But or Theo.
or
But
Theo.
what drove me crazy, well, there's a long list. But regarding what you just said, there was not one like 50-yard boom ball. All I keep hearing is how Russ throws the best
Right.
deep pass in football. Then throw the deep pass.
Not one. Not
Really,
one.
not one in 60 minutes of football. You couldn't find one opportunity to let one go 50 yards down the sideline and see if somebody could make a play. I mean, there was a couple of 20, 25-ish yard throws.
Right.
And Neighbors made a great catch on one of them. And, there was, I'm not saying we never took a shot, but we never took a deep shot.
Right. Right.
And again, he didn't have much time to throw, so I get it. But at some point, you have to say, I don't care. We're not going to complete the crossing route 15 yards downfield if the safeties don't have to go any farther than 20 yards downfield.
Right. Right.
So we got to make them respect it. We got to throw it. And especially, they know how well Russ throws it. So if he throws one, even if he throws it out of bounds, 50 yards downfield out of bounds, the safety's gonna be like, oh, yeah, I guess we gotta, turn around and run a little bit.
It's gonna be. I don't know, Clay. I just don't know. I looked at the opposite line. I remember in our last episode we said there was a pocket. We saw the pocket, and I guess I have to wait until I guess game two to see if will there be a pocket in game two, because I want to know whether is Russ not getting back quick enough. Is he not going deep enough on his drive? Is
No,
it,
no, it's
was
not
it
those.
just they just kept coming. They just kept coming like every
Our
play.
interior offensive line can't stop anybody. And our left tackle rarely stops people, but he better than the interior offensive line. But he right up in his face all the time.
All game. And when he when his back foot hit, he was looking up, and I'm like, oh no, please. He couldn't throw one crossing pattern. He couldn't throw it.
And it seemed to me that we weren't keeping a tight end into chip often enough.
No, no, no.
The one or two times that the running back stayed in, Cam Scatterbo made a really
Oh
good
yeah, he did. Yeah.
pickup that they showed over again. But for the most part, it seemed like we were willing to send five into the pattern, or at least four right away into the pattern. I guess the thought was, I'm only going to let him hold the ball for 2 seconds anyway. So let's at least get some options out there for him. And maybe it's easier to find somebody open in 2 seconds if there's four of them out there instead of two or three.
But he was throwing jump balls. They weren't passes at one point. They were like, and he was throwing to Malik. And I'm like, there's two guys in Malik that he has to out jump. I'm like, come on, what's going on?
And in fairness, he's pretty good at that. But there was one down the right side that I remember saying to the guys I was watching the game with, I was like, Odell would have caught that his second year. His first 3 years, Odell would have come down with
Right. Okay. Okay.
But anyway, so all that said, and believe me, when you score 6 points, we could talk about the offense the whole day.
There's a whole lot more.
All that said, to me, my immediate reaction, my quick takeaway was Shane Bowen must be fired, preferably tonight. Has to go. At the very least, Dable has to take away. He took away the play calling from Mike Kafka last year.
Yeah.
He needs to take away the defensive play calling from Shane Bowen and say, I got this. And we're going to a 3 defensive tackle look, period, full stop. I don't care. If you don't like it, quit. But that's what we're going to do. Now, I know Dexter Lawrence is not 100%, right? They haven't really talked about it that much this summer, but he's still recovering from the injury last year. He's not fully 100%. That's why they held him out of so many practices and everything. But he is Dexter Lawrence.
Right.
Guess how many sacks he had today?
Yeah, 0.
Guess how many solo tackles he had today?
He had to have a tackle.
0 solo tackles. He had 3 assisted tackles, 0 solo tackles. he was a non-factor. You know why he was a non-factor?
They were double teaming him every play.
All the time. All the time. So if you don't mind, as usual, I have a little something I want to just share.
You see what he says there, right? Week 1 disaster, guys.
Disaster.
Comment on that. Comment on that one.
Bowen has to go. This was a disaster. And listen, I don't think I'm panicking too soon because this is not Bowen's first year. He's got to go. So the 2 defensive tackle experiment is over, right? Like over, right? We're done with that, right? We can move on now and just say, yeah, that didn't work. 2 defensive tackles. There's Dex. Now, this is the first play of the game, right? The first drive of the game. All right, so that play didn't gain very many yards, but watch 97, best defensive tackle in football. How many people are blocking him?
2 right there.
2 people blocking Dexter. That's first down. This is second down. Now, Jaden Daniels pulled the ball and got a decent run, but let's just watch 97 again.
It's like the whole offensive line is on top of him.
So what's he supposed to do? Right? Right there, he's double teamed again. That's the second play. This is third down. How many people blocking him?
2 guys. The whole game.
This is the fourth play.
And this is the first series.
This first series. How many people blocking him?
At least 2.
At least 2. There were some plays I counted where he was triple teamed, but at least 2. Okay.
Man.
2 people on him. Nice pass breakup by Flott. And this is the first drive, right?
First drive, they beating him to the ground.
Beating him to the ground. By the way, I like the fact that Roy Robertson Harris was the other defensive tackle. If you're only going to use 2, I'm glad it wasn't Rochester. Okay, so that's the even half dozen. Now we stopped them there and they punted. So that's the first drive. He just got double teamed 6 plays in a row. And next drive, he was like, sub. He didn't even come out for the first down.
He tapped his helmet.
Second drive of the season. Why is Dexter Lawrence tired on the second drive of the season? Because he's double teamed all the time. And what did they say? They said, whoa, where's 97? Oh, he's not in? Guess what we're going to call?
No.
A run for 6 yards. And again, I'm not mad at the people who come in behind him. I'm just saying we can't live on that. Now, look at this line. We finally have 3 D linemen, and then Kayvon Thibodeau's over here, right? So there's Dexter on the nose, but 3 D linemen. Which side are the 3 D linemen on?
They're on the left side.
Guess which side they ran to?
The right side.
Which side would you run to?
To their left, our right.
Correct. They're like, oh, wait. So all they have over here is Kayvon Thibodeau, and they got 3 defensive linemen over here, and it's 2nd and 2. Man, just take a guess what the play was. This is the play Micah McFadden got hurt on, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that right there. I could look at this. I seen that hole coming.
Now, you see Kayvon's arms up here? So not only did they run his way, but they held him terribly. Why? I've read an article last year that said somebody tracked the number of times Kayvon Thibodeau got held and not called, and he led the league. Like, watch this.
He got a good grab, man.
Look now,
right there, yeah.
and he's like his arms are up in the air. It's like, hello, I'm still being held. The running back is still not down. What does a brother have to do? So this is, I zoomed in on it and said, this is not a hold? Really? Seriously? Really? That's not a hold? What is that?
That's a crime in 52 states.
And in 50 states and the District of Columbia, which is where this game was. Look at this.
Dragging them backwards.
Dragging him. He's dragging him. This, I would press charges. That's an assault. That's an assault. And he's got his arms up there like, hello. He's still, the running back is still not down. What do I have to do to get this flag? And he did not get the flag.
Yeah, my God.
So that's the play that McFadden gets hurt on, right? So this is 2 plays after that. So here is Darius Musa. Now, don't get me wrong. Michael McFadden is not good in coverage either, but he's better than Darius Musa. So here's Darius Musa, who's trying to move inside because he sees Zach Ertz out here. He's like, well, I can't cover him. Can I get in here and stop the run, please? And let somebody else go. Bobby, why don't you go cover him? Because you know I can't cover him. And Bobby says, no, get back out there. You get him. And he's like, what? He's like pointing like, no, I want to do something else. Don't make me cover Zach Ertz. And Zach Ertz says, oh, you got Musa on me? Thank you. Touchdown. Lemon.
Everyone's yelling. I got one.
Line up wide. So Zach Ertz, this is not a great move. Look at this. He leans outside and already he's like, I'm open. And just breaks it back inside and moves out, can't recover. And Jaden Daniels is like, I know where I'm going with this throw. And here's Bobby O, who's supposed to be helping to take that away. So Bobby, who were you covering? Like really, who were you covering? There's nobody over in this general vicinity. So you should have gone left or right. And knowing that Darius Musa is out there by himself on Ertz, that's where I would have gone. And by the time you get there, it's a touchdown. So again, I put all of this on, not all of it, but a large part of it on Bowen. So again, how many people were rushing defense? 4. So it's not even like we got to him right away. And this is some pressure that Carter's putting on. I'm not saying we didn't, ever do anything. Actually, I'm not sure that's Carter. I think that might be Golston. But whoever that is putting some pressure on, but not enough and not fast enough because Ertz was open immediately. So do I have to continue? No, I think I've made the point.
I do think you made the point.
Dexter had the same number of sacks and tackles that you and I had, and he had 3 assists. He was a non-factor because he was double teamed all the time. He was triple teamed sometimes. When all 22 comes out, I'm going to show you some clips where he was actually triple teamed. Oh, and guess how many yards they ran for?
220.
220 yards, and they threw for over 200 also. So it's not like they didn't have success on the other end of the field. They threw the ball, they ran the ball, whatever they felt like doing. Bowen has to go, so we're going to have 3 IDLs so Dex can eat and so we can stop the run. Period. Full stop. That's my takeaway. Again, we scored 6 points. You're not going to win a whole lot of games with 6 points.
No, you're not.
And the defense must be exhausted because they keep watching us not score.
Right.
That's got to be frustrating.
I mean, because at one point when, like you said, when the announcer said the Giants are actually still in this game, and I was like, yeah, you're right, but it didn't seem that way. It seemed like it seemed like it was getting blown out early. But it's I like what Scatterboo did out there on the opposite side though. He looked
good.
He looked good.
Especially those first couple of plays.
Yeah. They didn't play anymore. And Singletary had one good run, but as time went on, I saw that when a handoff was made, I seen that you had to juke somebody as soon as you got the ball because they had so much penetration on us.
I seem to recall another running back we used to have that had a similar problem. And as soon as he got out of here, he ran for like 87,000 yards and 9 million touchdowns and a couple of Super Bowls. I forget his name.
We won't name that guy. We won't name it.
I mean, I don't understand. There's so many things I don't understand, but we can't find any run blockers. We just don't. So going back to, preseason, when I was saying, what's more important? The third string quarterback, the third string running back, the third string tight end, and next year's 4th round draft pick, or one really good starting center. So when I said, can we please trade Jameis Winston, Devin Singletary, Daniel Bellinger, Micah McFadden and a fourth round pick to the Saints for Eric McCoy, this is what I was talking about. Our interior offensive line is terrible and will never be successful, especially with a 5'11" quarterback. If if they just push the interior offensive line back into the quarterback's face in 2 seconds,
He can't
almost
see
every
over
play.
it. He cannot see over it.
We need a stud somewhere along that front, preferably more than one, but at least one. And all these guys who they didn't want to trade, they're not playing anyway.
Right.
The guys that are playing suck. I don't get it. You don't want to get better at the guys who do play because you're afraid you're going to get worse at the guys who don't play? Make it make sense.
That it's still it can't happen now, right? Because we won't have a third string, but
No, we can still do it. We can still do it. Jackson Dart is the second string quarterback now. I mean,
right.
we lost Tommy DeVito, but fine. Like again, I worry less about who is going to come in if something bad happens than who's playing and making bad things happen.
It's only one game.
It is only one game. It is only one game. And I give them another game.
One more game.
One more game before I lose it altogether.
Oh,
Like I said, I already started looking at, so Utah has two really good offensive tackles. Spencer Fano and Caleb Lumo are the two offensive tackles for Utah. They're very good. I'm already starting to
Are you starting your mock for?
start my mock draft list. Well, I'm not. I'm starting my list of which players to keep an eye on, and I am starting to do some mock drafts. I believe I'll be doing at least one or two mock drafts this week. I just can't. I can't do it.
We just started the season. We just
Oh,
we haven't
and
had
by
a
the
home
way,
game yet.
Darius Alexander and Evan Neal were not even active this week. I mean, among other people, but those are just two of them who, when people tell me what a great job Joe Shane is doing now, I'm like, okay, really? We're doing a great job because we look terrible again this year so far and just went from 9 wins to 6 wins to 3 wins. And two of his early draft picks, Evan Neal and Darius Alexander, were inactive. So that doesn't sound like he's doing a great job. And the guys, don't get me started. This is supposed to be a brief
It was hard to be
episode.
brief, but we saw
Quick
it today.
reactions, and we'll look at it in more detail later. But and last thing I'll say about our offense, aren't you so happy that we cut Greg Dulcich? He of multiple touchdown receptions in the preseason.
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Good thing we got rid of him. We have no room for him down there.
None. No room. We need a tight end with good hands.
He was catching everything and winding up in the end zone all summer. And now, as soon as we get to September, like, oh no, we don't need him.
He's doing it for Miami now, right?
Doing it for Miami now. And fortunately, we were able to stash him onto the practice squad. But good thing we don't have Turbo out there on the field, because why would we want somebody who can catch a screen and take it 35, 40 yards? Why would we want the fastest person on the field on our team?
I can't get it. I still don't get that. I still don't get it.
Especially when you can't run between the tackles.
Right.
If you can't run between the tackles anyway, why would I want a slower guy running out wide or catching flares and screens? Why wouldn't I want the guy who is literally the fastest person on the field?
Hey, there was Wandell was out there catching one of those.
Yeah,
He didn't look bad.
he didn't look bad. Did he look as good as Turbo looked?
No,
he did not.
No.
If you could have froze the game and said, okay, now that the catch has been made, let's extract Wandale and put Turbo in there and give him the ball. Action. You think the result would have been worse?
He'd been 30, 40 yards downfield. Nobody touched him. Nobody touched him.
Why we can't find a way to put the ball in that young man's hands at least 2 or 3 times a game. Wow, we're scoring 6 points. It's not like we lost 38-35 and say, well, my way worked fine. We got 35 points. You got 6 points. Against a team that is not that good defensively.
I'm telling you, the clock is ticking for Russ right now. The clock's ticking.
For all of them. For Shady, for Dable, for Bowen, Kafka, the whole crew. Basically, if we lose like this next week, if it's me, the only person who still has a job is Coach Andre Patterson. the defensive line coach. Everybody else got to go. Everybody go.
You cleaning the house right
now. Everybody else got to go. Brasillo, or I keep hearing about what a great offensive line coach Brasillo is. Really? This is the result of the great offensive line coach, Carmen Brasillo? We're terrible.
It's a talent level, though.
First and goal from the 1.5 when we throw 2 passes, really?
And one to a lineman.
Offensive line coach? Anyway, this is going longer than
you guys hear what he's talking about, right? Please put some comments on what you think Clay from Brooklyn's talking about. I know it's making me laugh. And we gotta laugh because you don't want to be so mad, but please, put down your comments. What did you think about today's game? I know, no one's really happy right now. I know we're calling for Daboll's head, and we're calling for Jackson Dart to get in there, and it's the first game. I know we said off the brakes, but we might be letting off the brakes after next week.
Oh yeah, they get one more week, but what's coming after that is Kansas City, and Kansas City's already pissed because they just lost to the Chargers. So they're going to come in here with attitude, and I don't see that ending well.
God, no.
Anyway, that's what we think. Like Mazo said, let us know what you think. Clay from Brooklyn, football with the fellas. Who am I here with?
It's your man Mazo. Remember, it's all about Big Blue, baby. It's all about Big Blue. Hey, win or lose, we're here. We didn't want to lose this one, but it was game one. It's game one. So please show up next time and check us out. And remember, leave some comments down there. And until next time, y'all. Peace. Big shout out to El Marquis Productions, the talent behind the music and production here at Football with the Fellas. It's all about Big Blue. Their beats bring energy and excitement to every episode. El Marquis' skills in mixing, mastering, and creating top quality sound make the podcast come alive each week. For your own projects, check out elmarquisproductions.com and take your sound to the next level.